Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. See club for details.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Our Nebraska public school teachers make a difference in our communities. I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I see it every day, teachers connecting on a personal level with students and parents to support learning and growth. Our kids do better, community pride grows, Nebraska thrives. Our public schools rank in the top 10 nationally year after year. Strong public schools create strong communities.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals in everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting lots of sunshine with breezy northeasterly winds. We'll see an afternoon high around 82. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low around 51. And tomorrow, we'll see more sunshine with lighter winds and an afternoon high around 78. I'm meteorologist Kyle Becker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Early break.
Anthony in the mailbag says, good morning, guys. Question for the mailbag. If you were trapped in a 10 foot by 10 foot concrete room with one animal, what is the largest animal you could kill with nothing but your bare hands?
I'd like to think I could whip an ostrich.
Get a hold of his neck. He's going to whip him around. He's going to whip him around.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome into a Thursday edition of On the Block, live and in person from 1040 O Street. I'm Austin Norman. To my left, Eric Strickland. To my right, we've got Allie. Dream Team, the crew, Team USA 3-on-3 gold medalists in LA.
I'm only driving and kicking. If you can't knock it down, then
hey, I was gonna say you can just sit in the corner. You can space the floor. Ellie and I can run pick and roll.
Okay.
My 3-pointers are deadly.
There we go, Stricky.
Whoa.
Problem is, they're only 2 pointers. It's 1 and 2.
And I'm not playing defense.
Well, you never have. So what's we expected that.
No, my defensive skills just have evolved.
You are a cerebral defender. How about that?
Go.
Yeah, you're a help side
working
guy.
Smarter, not harder.
There we go.
Yeah, weak side. What's going on with you guys?
There's lots going on. Stricky. Hey.
My gosh, here we go.
You see this? What's that say? What's that say, Stricky? What's that say?
He's got a closet. He's got it. He probably got his own closet of Kansas City Royals gear. I mean, because I see a bunch of different shirts, hats. I'm surprised you don't have KC shoes, shorts. I mean, you got a whole wardrobe of KC stuff, my boy. You're representing your team well.
The boys are showing up, Stricky.
Showing up and showing out.
We will talk more about the Royals as we lead off hour 2 of the show. Don't you worry. Big Ten Media Days going on as well. Got a guest coming up at 3:30 to give us his thoughts from on the ground in the Windy City. But Stricky, before we get there, let's talk some Husker football. Huskers sitting at 4-1 right now. They are 2 wins away from bowl eligibility. And I think that when we look back to where we were, identifying this team, where it could go, where it was, all that good stuff, we thought the schedule set up pretty well for the Huskers with a runway, right? With UTEP, Colorado, Northern Iowa, Illinois, we weren't quite sure about, Purdue, and then the halfway point of the season, Rutgers.
Yeah.
Rutgers was one of those Big Ten dark horses. People are saying their schedule set up pretty well for them as well. There's a lot of respect for Greg Schiano in Big Ten circles. And Rutgers has absolutely delivered to this point, right? Purdue maybe not as good as people would have thought. They didn't have high expectations for them, but certainly not a good year for them. Illinois, I think, is better than most people thought. A bowl team, but probably looking like a pretty solid bowl team right now.
Mm-hmm.
The runway wasn't maybe quite the runway we thought, because Colorado, sits in first place in the Big 10 or Big 12. They're 2-0 in conference right now. Illinois has been better. Rutgers is undefeated coming to Lincoln. We got to get through Rutgers first, Stricky, but then the Huskers get a bye week, 3 weeks of games, another bye week, and then 3 more games to end out the year. Indiana coming up after Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
You thought transition year for them, even though it's on the road, that's really the challenge. They look good. Ohio State hasn't done anything to quell the hype. UCLA, not necessarily great, and that's at home. But really, outside of UCLA, the easy part of Nebraska's schedule, I say in quotes, is behind it. And it wasn't even really that easy, or as easy as we thought it was going to be coming into the year.
Yeah, we definitely thought that they had a runway, a little bit more runway. And, like you say, when you look up and down the Big Ten right now, there isn't a game that isn't a challenge. I mean, Indiana is who they are. You saw what happened with Illinois and how tough that was. I mean, you knew that was going to be tough. That they've been kind of going back and forth. There'd be a time we go out there, we get them, they come here, they get us again. And then, it's like a little back and forth thing with Illinois. So Illinois, I don't think was ever really just a look over.
Mm-hmm.
Rutgers was one you always kind of knew was going to be tough because they were just going to be hard nosed. They were going to fight. They were gritty. You knew that was going to be the case there. And then you're just surprised by Indiana and they're dangerous. And so, yeah, I think even with a runway, for me, like I have good expectations, but if you want to make that leap and you want to make that jump, it's got to be this year. And it's got to be anything less, to me. This is just me. This is my thought. This may not be your thought. Everybody wants to go bowling.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about, Crazy Legs lanes, down on, whatever on the south side. No, I'm talking about everybody wants to see Nebraska with that asterisk again.
Mm-hmm.
And not just the schedule. They want to see that asterisk for a bowl.
Yeah.
Because it's something that you're, starting back up again. You're starting to get excited about. You probably want to go to, like they got to be a lot better if you want to go to a warm climate a bowl game. So that's something also to think about. But when you really just break it down, to me.
Mm-hmm.
Anything less than 8 wins for me this year is
not good enough.
It's not good. It's just not good. I respect it, and I'm glad they did it, and I'm glad they're going bowling. But I'm looking at the schedule, and even though it's tougher, I'm still saying if the leap you said you're making in you've got what you needed, you've got all the skill positions.
Mm-hmm.
Your defense was one of the better ones last year with a lot returning. If you're not there, then it's a loss for me.
So Nebraska's at 4 right now. As you look at the schedule, what are the next 4? The next 4 wins for the Huskers. Who do they get?
Let me get the schedule.
So Rutgers will be game 6.
Okay, that's Rutgers there.
Okay, Indiana.
I'm saying you must. There, like I said this yesterday. For me, like if you don't in any by any means win this game, then I'm side eyeing because you lost one at home. You've got a redemption opportunity, another undefeated team coming into your build. If it's just going to be so porous that anybody can come in and do Prince on Eddie Murphy's couch, if anybody can just come in, bump your couch, stopping in with dirt on my feet, not take. If you just feel like you can just go into my refrigerator and just eat all my food and then just say, all right, man, I'll see you next time. Like if you just feel that you're that comfortable to just be able to come in my space and do what you want to do in it, then it's no bueno for me. And that's the opportunity that awaits them, that they're sitting right before right now, is an opportunity to redeem what you didn't do, to correct the mistakes that cost you. And yes, there could be some controversial calls, but I personally don't think you should have left it up to that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You had a chance to end it on multiple occasions. A missed pass, missed field goal. You do those few things, you win. So that's the way I look at it.
So Rutgers, you got to win.
You got to win.
Bye week into Indiana, who is also coming off a bye week.
Right. And you got to go. Do we go? No.
2.
We go 2.
2.
Yeah, because it gets real ugly as far as hitting the road for us.
Of Nebraska's last 6 games, they will play 4 of them on the road and 2 of them at home. So your 4 road games at Indiana, at Ohio State, at USC, and at Iowa. Is going 2-2 the bare minimum? Is that a success if Nebraska goes 2-2 in those games, or is 2-2 maybe overachieving on the road?
First and foremost, you've got to win this one at home. Second, I think you've got to do everything you can, even if you have to pull off a late field goal, a late drive, or something. You've got to win that Indiana, because if you don't, you're facing a turnaround going against a top 5 team in the country in their building.
And they have everything to play for, including style points.
Facts. So you don't want. So let's take. So if it's doomed, that's 2. If they lose Indiana, that's 2 losses, 3 losses.
So you're sitting at 5-3 at that point.
You're sitting at 5-3.
Guess where you were last year, Stricky?
5-3.
5-3 going into November.
Going into that, right? Definitely, you may take an L going out to Ohio State unless you just play the game of your life as a whole. And
or you're saying if you lose to Rutgers, you're 4-3 then.
Right.
Even worse.
That's what I'm saying. It's this next 2-game stretch to me, eyeing Ohio State behind it is crucial. I think they're winnable games. I think they're must-win games. I think they're must, take a mentality of domination and, whatever it takes, however long it takes, whatever we need to do collectively, we've got to get it done, because Ohio State, boom, you got that UCLA game. So that puts you at 6-4?
If you beat UCLA, you would most likely be, well, you'd play 9 games at that point. So 6-3 or 5-4.
Or 5-4. 6 and let's say, then you got to go to USC.
Better than we thought.
Winnable potentially, but it's on the road.
Yep.
To me, you still haven't shown that you can go and dominate. And this is why I think these next 2 games, 1, Ohio State's going to try you. Indiana is going to test you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm saying by try, you're going to have to give everything you have, knowing that you're probably not going to come out of there with a win. Like it's a try. You know what I'm saying? A test is the Indiana, because it's going to test your mental. It's going to test your discipline. It's going to test your will. It's going to test everything about what you need to do and what you want to become if you want to desire to be a championship team. To me, that's the test. Ohio State, I don't think you're ready yet. To be honest, I think you can win. No. And you must play to win the game. So it's all winnable, right? They can come in slipping and thinking that they're going to do what they normally do to you, 60-something to whatever, right? And you can clip them. But it's that stretch, because you don't want to have that pressure going in on the road to USC, home with Wisconsin, and a rival on the road at Iowa.
Yeah.
I just think you don't want to do that. You want to bank them.
So you said win by any means necessary. And I think we can revisit this conversation in that light of do whatever you have to win the game, getting down to these tests or these tries. Strick, we've had a lot of conversation about Marcus Satterfield and his play calling, right? A lot of fans, you've heard from him, I've heard from him. Nebraska's not running the ball enough. They're not sticking to it. Maybe what it's going to take to win at Indiana is a 41-38 shootout.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Dylan Raiola going for his first 300-yard game, right? I wonder, and I want your thoughts on this. I wonder if maybe part of the reason people are, at least on a surface level, frustrated with Marcus Satterfield is because Dylan Raiola doesn't have a 300-yard passing game yet, and it seems like Nebraska's throwing the ball a lot. I think if Dylan Raiola had put up those sort of catch your eye, Hollywood glitz and glam numbers, right? If he had a 300-yard game or a 400-yard game against Colorado, or if he had thrown, a 4-touchdown game, a 5-touchdown game, whatever it is, fans would be more okay with Nebraska airing it out, right? Because, oh, wait, you have this weapon and you're finally using him. But I wonder if some of the frustration for Husker fans is feeling like you have this weapon, you're not using him fully, but you're also not fully committed to the run game. And I don't think we should just stop at surface level stats. He doesn't have a 300-yard passing game, whatever. He still leads FBS Division I freshman quarterbacks in passing, right? We can't forget that fact. But I wonder how many fans just stop at, he doesn't have a 300-yard passing game, so Nebraska's not focusing on him enough, but that doesn't mean Nebraska's focusing on the run enough either.
Okay. I hear you. And then I raise you another one. For me, Nebraska is, I think game plans on the defensive side of things are really looking at taking away the middle of the field option. The option just behind the linebackers. They're seeing a lot of crossings, and so their goal is to really take that back. So I think if I look at it correctly, I've been seeing linebackers get a little bit more depth, and they're doing some little slants and blitz packages to take away the run game. But it's like they're using one of the linebackers to make sure they get depth into that mid-cross region. So I think you've been seeing them trying to get to the perimeter on the run game. Haven't been able to do it with running backs yet, but that's okay. Where Dylan Raiola is going to have to be good, I think if they're able to run the ball well, you're going to get more guys in the box. You're going to get more opportunities for Nair and Banks and Jalen Lloyd and those guys deep. And you got to take those shots, right? But I think his drop-offs after the, just dump it down, those are going to be critical for the upcoming game. I just really think they're starting to take away, because we don't see a lot of slants from them.
We haven't. I mean, for 5-6 years, but not this year. No,
you don't see a lot of those type of routes.
Even if it's like a 3rd and 4, you don't see Banks take 2 steps, quick cut up field, and shield the defender on his back,
like other teams do.
Yeah.
So that's for me. Where I'm hoping this is what we're going to be able to see, that a game plan is established to make sure that they're taking advantage, maybe even in the middle, but even with the running backs with dump downs and just take what they're giving you.
Right. When I look at the rest of the schedule, Strick, I don't necessarily see a lot of opportunities for Nebraska to be overly successful running the ball without a good passing game. Right? Last year, Nebraska was all run. That's really all the Huskers had. They got some pass elements to them this year, right? If you look at the Indiana game, mid-October should be decent weather, right? Again, we're projecting 2 weeks out right now, but Indiana might, actually crack the Husker defense. Like really no one outside of Michigan has been able to do yet this far under Tony White. If that's the case, I don't trust Nebraska's run game enough to keep up in a shootout or enough to control the clock. Guess what? You might have to put that game on Dylan Raiola's shoulders. Guess what? You might have to do the exact same thing the next week at Ohio State. I have very little doubt Ohio State's going to move the ball and score on Nebraska. Maybe that's pessimistic of me. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. Text line 402-464-5685. I think UCLA is gettable with the run. I think USC off a bye week might be another shootout type of game. USC has athletes all over the field on offense. It's a different leading receiver every week. Is Miller Moss special? He's good. He's a good quarterback. He's not elite, but guess what? He's got all sorts of weapons to throw to. You might need Dylan Raiola to keep pace in that one, more so than Dante Dowdell. Wisconsin, we'll see. Right now, they're 90th in points allowed per game. They're averaging 27 points allowed per game. Their offense is only scoring 22.
Who was that?
Wisconsin.
Okay.
But Wisconsin's allowing 197 yards per game through the air and 146 per game on the ground. Definitely not the Wisconsin numbers we've come to know and expect on the ground. But that Wisconsin's going to get fired up for this Nebraska game. Wisconsin is going to have so much on the line at the end of the season. Is Luke Fickell on the hot seat? No. Wisconsin's still going to be fighting for a bowl game at that point, I bet. And then Iowa, you think they're just going to let you run the ball on them? No. But guess what? Their secondary's elite too. Has been for a long time under Phil Parker. So maybe you run the ball a little more against Iowa on Black Friday. Maybe it's cold, maybe it's snowy, windy, whatever. But to me, I think Dylan Raiola's got to get his first 300-yard passing game soon just to get some pressure off Marcus Satterfield's shoulders. I know he'll say, nope, I'm not thinking about it. Nope, I don't care. We're focused internally. But I think the perception of the offensive coordinator would be a lot different if Nebraska had won a game on Dylan Raiola's shoulders with some flashy numbers, more so than the way they've gone about winning so far. And I don't think that's what happens against Rutgers.
You're saying you don't think that 300 happens against Rutgers?
I do not. I do not.
Okay, why?
I think it comes after the bye week.
Why not Rutgers? You just think they're just defensively just?
I think Rutgers is a pretty darn good defense. I know Washington ran up over 500 yards of total offense on them. There's no reason Nebraska can't do 450 plus. I just don't know if I see it. I just don't know if I believe it right now. Maybe I'm banking too much on Rutgers' pedigree under Schiano there.
So then what aspect of Nebraska's inefficiencies or deficiencies would hinder what you're saying? What aspect? Not just the run game or.
Well, I think it's just number of plays. I think it's just number of plays.
Limited numbers of plays.
Right. I just don't know if they have that many opportunities, and it's not the most efficient or explosive offense. Right. It has some big play potential, but Nebraska hasn't scored on a lot of its big plays. Its big plays are 19 yards, 23 yards, 37 yards. Not a lot of those to the end zone. Right. It's a lot of those in the middle of the field. Right. Whether they're backed up behind the sticks or you get an explosive to start a drive, it hasn't necessarily been score from anywhere on the field.
Yeah, I think the red zone of inefficiencies too is hurting them. Because I think they can get to the opponent's side of the field.
Oh yeah,
regularly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like their special teams isn't good enough to feel confident in execution. I don't at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have full confidence in anything that they can do there. Their red zone inefficiencies is kind of wild to me. I'm saying anything inside the 10. I think they can work from inside the 20, from the 15 to the 20. I think they're fine there. But I think inside the 10, that's where they struggle. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're dominant up front to move people. I haven't seen enough creativity in the run game outside of the little reverses at this point, or the jets,
Mm-hmm.
handoffs and stuff like that. But I don't see it. And that's where I think they have to get better. Real talk, like if I was tight end and I was Fedoni, there would be no one that can touch me in the red zone. Like if I'm saying that if it was me, that's how dogmatic I'd be about trying to get touchdowns. Like find what was his name? There was a time in Minnesota, he was a tight end, big tight end, 6'8". Help me. Sutter Heyman text line 402-4645. He's still around. I don't know if he's with them now or where he at. He's still around. But when they got in the red zone, like he may not get any yards off, but when they got in the red zone, they would find him. And I can't remember.
Oh, you're talking about Austin Allen for the Huskers?
No, it wasn't Allen. It wasn't Allen. It was someone else. He might even be in Baltimore now. Gosh, what was his name? Help me come to it. But I don't think it was Austin Allen. No, no, it was someone else. But Austin Allen is good though. He's good in the red zone. But this guy literally was just a touchdown. Like I had him one year on my fantasy team.
Jimmy Graham?
No, Jimmy Graham. I know him. Saints.
Okay.
No. But he was with. It wasn't Buffalo. I'm pretty sure it was Minnesota. Patterson. Golly, my mind's drawing a blank on who it was his name. And he's still around though. But anyway, it wasn't Austin Allen. I'll figure it out sometime. But anyway, that's how I feel, man. I would be dominating if I was Fedoni.
Nebraska hasn't used Fedoni vertically a lot. They've got him a lot more horizontal, and I don't fully understand that because I'm with you. Just, hey, chip a guy, throw your hands up. Should be that simple, but it's not that simple. And I don't know why it's not that simple sometimes. So let's go to break here, 402-464-5685. If you can fill in the blank in the mind of us two blockheads here, we are not coming up with the names Stricky wants. So we're relying on you, positive connotation blockheads, to help us out. Again, 402-464-5685. When we get back, the NCAA's Infractions Committee handed down its ruling for Antonio Pierce. Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience.
Built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community.
Constructors
Nebraska
offer great
families
pay,
and business
health,
owners
dental
need lower
and vision
taxes,
insurance,
more affordable
paid
health
time
care,
off,
and a
paid
great
holidays,
education
and so
system.
much more.
That is why I fought
Join
for
the
the
crew today
largest
and be a
tax
part of
cut in
Nebraska's
Nebraska's
oldest
history,
paving company
reduce
dating
the
back
cost
to
of healthcare,
1908.
and help pass
For a
the
complete
biggest
list of
investment
openings
in
and
our
to apply
public
online,
schools. I'm Senator Bill Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's most dependable side-by-side, the Mule Pro, built to take on your most demanding days. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of October. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Stop by every Saturday for their Husker tailgate with free food, drinks, and games. It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 15th is $2 off tray packaged ground beef, $2 off hot dogs, 15% off cookbooks, and buy one, get one 50% off on hardcore carnivore seasoning. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting lots of sunshine with breezy northeasterly winds. We'll see an afternoon high around 82. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low around 51. And tomorrow, we'll see more sunshine with lighter winds and an afternoon high around 78. Your meteorologist Kyle Tucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Tailored Life is your headquarters for all things fall in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Hi, this is Jay Foreman. Join me, Old School, live from Cornhusker Bank at 83rd and O Street this Friday for their Customer Appreciation Tailgate Party from 4 to 6 p.m. Larry the Cable Guy will join us during the show, and there's free food and refreshments. That is this Friday from 4 to 6 at Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and O Street.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here during On the Block. Stricky figured it out. It is not Kyle Rudolph. You're thinking Mark.
Yes.
Was it Kyle Rudolph?
Yes.
You told me it's Mark Andrews.
No.
It was Kyle Rudolph?
Rudolph.
Text line came through, Stricky.
They always
Thank the
do.
blockheads.
They always. Yes, that's him. Kyle Rudolph. He didn't do much in the game, but he gets down in that red zone. He was a freaking beast. Kyle Rudolph, that's him. Good call. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Y'all are great. Appreciate you, as always. Stricky, let's stick in college football here, but it's also tied into the NFL. Right now, there are 12 years worth of show cause penalties in the NFL head coaching ranks. Jim Harbaugh for everything going on at Michigan. And Antonio Pierce today just got an 8-year show cause penalty if he were to ever return to college football.
Can we pause and just give them a little insight as to what is a show cause? Because, sometimes it's just not is it a clear understanding of what it is? But
the NCAA, a show cause penalty is an administrative punishment ordering that any NCAA penalties imposed on a coach found to have committed major rules violations will stay in effect against that coach for a specified period of time and could also be transferred to any other NCAA member school that hires the coach while the sanctions are still in effect.
There you go. So, yeah.
They must also report back to the
something.
NCAA every 6 months.
That means something.
Yeah.
You know, you get a show cause, that means something.
It means they're breathing down your neck.
And, well, there's a loophole, got to be, right? You got to think there's a loophole. Here's
There always
why.
is, right?
Because you kind of know what's coming down the pike, and he bounces.
Right.
That's the loophole.
Exactly.
You get the bounce. No, Michigan don't really get killed off of it. It really kind of, right? They don't get killed as much as
Harbaugh, as the head
right.
coach. Right. Because the NCAA always looks to hold one person responsible instead of one institution responsible.
So to me, then it comes down to how do you stop it? Like, how do you stop it from happening? I don't know. Do we even have any death penalty type of infractions these days? Like, what would constitute a death penalty infraction now? Like,
I mean, Art Briles at Baylor probably got close right before Matt Rule got there.
Yeah.
Rick Pitino's recruiting stuff, maybe.
But they
gambling
go down.
Gambling. Iowa and Iowa State got really close.
They got close. But see, that's
those
the thing.
Players at least.
It's close, but it's really like, and that goes back to what I talked about for the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Chihuahuas. They don't really have they don't have that. They don't have that Rottweiler. They don't have that German Shepherd. They don't have, you know what I'm saying? They don't have that kind of bite to them. They had freaking a Yorkie. That's the NCAA now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bite they have.
Are they a Yorkie,
really,
are they a
all of
Yorkie
this
or are they a
is just
Chihuahua?
Little
Are
bites.
they? Yorkie or Chihuahua?
Both, god dang it. They both.
Which one?
They're Yorkie.
I've never seen a Yorkie Chihuahua hybrid. Do we think that one exists?
I think they exist, bro.
Yorkie Chihuahua.
And you know
mix.
it's feisty as a mug.
Oh, it's called a Chorkie.
You know it's feisty too.
What?
That little thing. Anything walk by the door.
That's a Chorkie.
Yeah.
Are we in or are we out on? Are we in or out on Chorkies?
Oh, it is a cutie thing though. But boy, oh boy, they're oof.
But then you see one like this. Like, that's just mangy. That's like that's just
Austin,
mangy.
That is no bueno. Go hey, little Herbie needs one of those.
A little Herbie has a cat.
Have you seen what cats do to
little
kids?
Not a dang thing unless they're
they
provoked.
Freaking love it. They freaking love kids.
My cat and my kid. I don't know if I have a.
They'll go and lay up on them and just when they're asleep, be all up on their necks.
Well,
they're cute.
Luckily,
they're too sneaky for me though, my boy. I can't. Look, today, pets. I love pets though. I've had two, but they're like kids, and I don't want to have to like figure out what daycare I'm going to take them to if I want to go out of the country.
And that's why I got a cat.
Because you can't leave. You just put the little they go in the little litter box. They kind of just make sure food kind of just gets distributed every now and then. That's all you got to do with them. They're going to do their own thing.
This cat was my first pet
and
ever.
make sure you have like one of those climbing things so they can climb
the
on
tower?
and do those.
Yeah.
Do some scraping because there's some scrambling and scraping. If you know, you know. There you go, my guy. What else?
I'm trying to find a good picture. We don't really have pictures of little Herbie, and Fritz is the cat's name because his brain is always on.
You want to know what my two dogs' name was?
Wait. Give me a sec here.
Starts with W's.
Ooh, one of them is absolutely named Winston.
You were close.
Wait.
You were close.
Yeah.
But the girl's name is closer.
Winnie?
Winnie! Yo!
I know my partner.
Winnie was one of them. And we used to call her Whiny Winnie because she was just and she was a Yorkie poo. You know what that is?
Yeah, I know Yorkie poo is.
Yeah, she was a Yorkie poo. So she was just a whiny little thing. And then
was that your choice or someone else's choice to get a Yorkie
They were
poo?
like sisters. And my wife says, I've got these dogs for Deandra. And this is when I was married. I got these dogs for Deandra, and we're gonna take it to her. Deandra didn't want it. See, Deandra wanted my other dog. What you think?
So we got Winnie.
Winnie,
and you said another W.
Yeah.
Okay. So Winona is out.
That's a girl's name.
I know. Oh, I thought you said it was a girl.
No, it's a boy.
Oh, it's a boy. Okay. You would not name your dog Walter.
No,
you would not. Okay, so that's off. I'm thinking something like, I don't know. Winchester is too many syllables. It'd be pretty tough.
I like the way you're thinking though, because it's wild like that.
Yeah.
What do you think? You have a thought?
Willis?
No. Dang. Wilfred.
I got the first three of both.
I know. Winnie and Wilfred, bro. And Wilfred was like, that was my road dog. It was crazy. This is when I knew I was one of the super dog, type families, right? That just love their dogs.
Mm-hmm.
We had both of our dogs. We took them to, they traveled with us. We took them to Vegas. We're in a freaking show watching Ka with the dogs in our laps. Inside the, and they were just laying there chilling. And we put them in a freaking one of the
in the carriers.
The carriers,
yeah.
They had carriers. They were freaking Wilfred. We would walk freaking Wilfred around, and he would get around the block and just lay down in the shade. Our dogs were spoiled like a rotten, bro. And
they were living that NBA lifestyle more than you were.
They were living that lifestyle. And when I tell you, Wilfred was the funniest thing. Winnie, Deandra wanted Wilfred instead of Winnie. And we're like, no, you can't have Wilfred. You can't.
No, not today.
No. Wilfred was my road dog. But yeah, that's pets. We love them though. I love them. I just can't. I can't do it. I like to just be able to jump up and hit a plane.
This Wilfred?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wilfred was a brindle pug.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, with a Yorkie poo.
Yeah.
Dang.
They were cool together. They were brothers.
Shout out my aunt and uncle who have two pugs. One of them is Bruce, the other is Lulu. Talk about spoiled dogs.
Oh man, you got the fat boy pugs, or they?
Oh, Bruce. Oh yeah,
big boy.
He's athletic.
Big body.
He's a fullback. That's how I'll describe Bruce. Yeah, he's big. He's got some heft to him, but Bruce can move. Let me tell you.
Okay, show you right.
Lulu's got a little bit of that yip, 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 yip,
oh yeah
to her.
Yeah.
But they're sweet. They're fine.
Good.
Oh, Antonio Pierce. Yeah, blatant disregard for the rules, right? Tried too hard to have that dog in him. Here's what the NCAA said he did. He knowingly and blatantly disregarded fundamental dead period legislation to orchestrate the majority of violations. His defiance of and indifference to NCAA rules was in part motivated by his observation that he needed to maintain an aggressive recruiting presence in order to compete with what he believed other institutions were doing during the COVID dead period. Okay, first time, college head coach. You think other people are cheating? I may as well too. It's what I got to do. Here's the next part, Strick, that I think might be a little worrying. Similarly, according to one staff member, Pierce did not fear the potential consequences for NCAA violations due to the financial security provided by his self-proclaimed wealth. In his role, Pierce had primary control of the football program's roster in oversight of coaching staff members' recruiting activities. Pierce used his position of authority to pressure staff members into engaging in violations, often by instilling fear that they would lose their jobs if they did not follow his orders. Antonio Pierce setting himself up like a bulldog in that situation.
So here's the main question that comes to that for me, right? Are we now in a place where the lack of integrity in some of that type of instances, right? Because that's really an integral thing, I think.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a character thing sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
When we think about that, you become, so an owner is interviewing you, an owner has insight into some of this, but you trust them with the highest positions.
Right.
Like we're in a crazy time, man. It's some crazy time. So that's the part that I have a little bit of makes me just.
But it makes him a perfect fit for the Raiders, right?
Oh, well, I guess. Yeah. There you go.
Doesn't it?
That tells a lot. Raiders have always been cutting edge, on the edge, jumping off the edge. Wild. Art Davis, great. I just still don't care. I think he's a great owner, though.
They at least try.
I think he was a great owner.
Might get it wrong.
Trying to do his thing.
Yeah.
The question becomes then, is it time for your boy to disappear. Your boy, Jerry Jones. Is it time? Is it time for Jerry Jones to say in sync? Bye, 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 bye.
Hey, speak of Deadpool Wolverine.
You see that?
Bye, bye, bye.
You see it?
Yeah.
Is it time?
If you're Jerry Jones, why are you not on a yacht in the middle of the Mediterranean?
We're 20 years now gone from the glory.
Hey, Steven,
How is
call
it
me
every
if you
year?
get to the Super Bowl. I'll be there. Otherwise, I don't hear from you. Click.
Question. Who is more delusional? Cowboys or Husker fans?
What if you're Pete Ferguson and you're both?
Pete, you see him throwing you under the bus, my boy? Pete
I'm not saying Pete's delusional. I'm saying Pete's a Husker fan and a Cowboys fan.
Pete,
That's all
you
I'm
just
saying.
threw Pete all the way under the bus.
Hey,
Pete, he
Pete's
just
tough.
rolled
He can
over
take
you
it.
with the back tires,
Pete's
my boy.
tough. He can take it.
It's like he saw you and backed up anyway over you with the bus. And it wasn't the short bus, it was the heavy bus.
It was the full one.
No,
this is no Tom's bus. I'm sorry. Sorry, Pete. And you know it's true.
402
You got my number. I ain't hard to find, Pete. Tell me if I'm wrong.
402-464-5685. No, and it's in a loving manner. But honestly, you've got to say Nebraska over the course of since the early 2000s have had a sense of some form of delusion. And we call it today sipping on the fat red Kool-Aid guy running through walls.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing that for a lot of years now.
Some rather scarlet.
So which
Kool-Aid
one's
right
been
now.
doing it more? Cowboys fans, who's doing it more and who's crying more at the end of it? Because I think Cowboy fans are wild.
Cowboys fans are more delusional. Husker fans are crying more.
Ooh. That's a clippable. Be on the lookout for this coming through on Instagram. I maybe on a poll. We need to put this out there hey, you know what? That might be something. You might be onto something there.
We digging into something?
I think you might be onto something there.
You got shootout next, so we can't dig into it though.
I need to go get I need the Mario hat today. I might go get it. I need to win.
You got to break into the office to do it. Your superpowers are taken from you, Stricky. You got to do this on your own.
Golly, Mario hat. I'm going to make sure it's in here next week.
402-464-5685. Give us a call on our Honda of Lincoln hotline. $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings for 4 questions for Strick, then 4 questions for you. It's the shootout with Strick. It's how we wrap up hour 1 of On the Block next.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best boxing on Saturday, October 5th with Roughnecks at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. 8 bouts are scheduled for the night, including the main event of Dwayne Johnson and Jack Lawless Frericks in the professional middleweight championship bout. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Are you or someone you love struggling with substance use? The Bridge Behavioral Health in Lincoln offers outpatient therapy for those 19 and over. The Bridge is conveniently located in the South Haymarket and near city bus lines. With payment options through insurance and a sliding fee scale, services are available for any adult 19 and over seeking help. Call 402-477-3951 to learn more or schedule your appointment today. The Bridge Behavioral Health is a local substance use treatment facility offering hope and a solid foundation for recovery through substance use treatment and behavioral health interventions. It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's most dependable side-by-side, the Mule Pro, built to take on your most demanding days. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of October. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Stop by every Saturday for their Husker tailgate with free food, drinks, and games.
Hi, this is Jay Foreman. Join me, Old School, live from Cornhusker Bank at 83rd and O Street this Friday for their Customer Appreciation Tailgate Party from 4 to 6 p.m. Larry the Cable Guy will join us during the show, and there's free food and refreshments. That is this Friday from 4 to 6 at Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and O Street.
Our Nebraska public school teachers make a difference in our communities. I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I see it every day. Teachers connecting on a personal level with students and parents to support learning and growth. Our kids do better, community pride grows, Nebraska thrives. Our public schools rank in the top 10 nationally year after year. Strong public schools create strong communities.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we are out of the gate for September with a very special GMC sales offer. We must move out all new GMC truck inventory fast. So right now at Koppel, we are offering true GM supplier pricing for everyone. Yes, you heard right. True GM supplier pricing on all GMC Sierras. That's over $12,000 off on select models. That's GM supplier pricing, $12,000 off on Sierras. Do not wait. Stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com.
Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the block. It is the final segment of hour 1 on a Thursday, which means we are playing the shootout with Strick. let's turn our attention here to our not our Allo Fiber VIP line. This is our Honda of Lincoln hotline. Dave is on the line. Dave, how are you this afternoon?
Got my Mario hat on.
Perfect.
Oh,
Perfect. You got your superpowers. Stricky's jealous.
There you go.
All right, Dave, we know you know the rules. Hold on the line. We will get Strick his 4 questions, and then we will get to you. Stricky, how are you feeling?
I feel kind of bucket naked right now without my Mario hat. And
What hat you wearing
got
today,
one.
though? What hat you wearing today, though?
9317.
As it is. As you do. Dang it. All right, Stricky, your round of the shootout starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He was the 2016 American League MVP. Mookie Betts or Mike Trout?
Mookie.
It was Mike. He was the 2016 National League Cy Young winner. Kyle Hendricks or Max Scherzer?
Max.
It was Max. He was the 2016 American League Rookie of the Year. Michael Fulmer or Gary Sanchez?
Fulmer.
It was Fulmer, and they lost the 2016 World Series. They lost the 2016 World Series.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Texas Rangers.
1.
Who was it?
Cleveland Indians. Lost the 2016 World Series. So, that's a 2-point round. 2-point round. Not bad. Dave, 2 to tie, 3 or more to win.
Me already.
You ready?
Watch the easy questions you just gave this Dave today.
I'll give it a shot.
All right, Dave. With your Mario hat, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He was the 2016 National League MVP. Chris Bryant or Anthony Rizzo?
Let's go with Rizzo.
Ellie, can you turn the music down just a little bit on number 1? Yeah, what was that again, Dave? Sorry.
Let's go with Rizzo.
It was Bryant. He was the 2016 American League Cy Young winner. Justin Verlander or Rick Porcello?
Try Verlander.
It was Porcello. He was the 2016 National League Rookie of the Year. Corey Seager or Trey Turner?
Turner.
It was Seager, and they won the 2016 World Series.
I give him time on this.
Ask it one more time.
He was the they won the 2016 World Series. This will be for the win. It was Corey Seager. They won the 2016 World Series.
Houston.
The answer is Houston. That is incorrect. Ellie, give that man Stricky his music. He came through even without the Mario hat. Dave, a valiant effort. You fell just short. The answer, the Chicago Cubs. The Chicago Cubs won the World Series in 2016. Stricky, you're back. You did it.
No Mario hat.
You don't need it. It's a placebo.
Because it was reverse psychology. He had it, and it just switched on to me.
Mm-hmm. Congrats on the win, Stricky. That means we still play the tiebreaker question. So we will give this to let's see. You can shut the phone off, Ellie. It's fine.
Go with your intuition. Okay.
Always.
I'm ready.
Okay, Ellie, you're going to pick a number between 1 and 10 for us here. Say it into the mic. Pick your number between 1 and 10.
2.
Okay, texter number 2. Right answer, over, under, or push. We'll get the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. All right, Stricky. Before winning the World Series in 2016, what year was the Chicago Cubs' previous World Series win?
'68.
Stricky says 1968. Over will be before 1968. Push would be they won it in 68. And under would be more recently than 1968. Let us know, 402-464-5685. Texter number 2, over, under, or push will win the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. We got a couple things to get to on the text line. Plenty else ahead in hour number 2, including a check-in from Nebraska's time in the limelight at Big Ten Men's Basketball Media Days. Don't go anywhere. Hour 2 of On the Block comes your way next. If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
This Fox is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 15th is $2 off tray packaged ground beef, $2 off hot dogs, 15% off cookbooks, and buy one, get one 50% off on hardcore carnivore seasoning. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting lots of sunshine with breezy northeasterly winds. We'll see an afternoon high around 82. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low around 51. And tomorrow, we'll see more sunshine with lighter winds and an afternoon high around 78. Meteorologist Kyle Becker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Tailored Life is your headquarters for all things fall in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more, plus porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 15th is $2 off tray packaged ground beef, $2 off hot dogs, 15% off cookbooks, and buy one, get one 50% off on hardcore carnivore seasoning. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of healthcare, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Hour 2 of a Thursday show. Stricky is shaking. I see he's not shaky. He is shaking in anticipation and excitement for 4:05 p.m. Kevin Meyer back in the building for Thirsty Thursday. That's how Stricky gets fired up for WTF coming up tonight at 6. Stricky, set the table for us. What you got tonight?
Yeah, so we've got this or that that's going to be returning. A lot of people seem to like this or that. The reason being is that show in itself is like a contrast. It brings a contrast of specific topics that allow you to be able to have to think and process and figure out whether or not you're down for one or down for the other. And they're pretty good topics we have today. We're going to talk, obviously, the Rutgers game, what's ahead there. And we may even talk a little bit about Mark Cuban, who has an expectation of, sooner or later, and probably not too far distant time in the NBA, somebody will be earning about $100 million a year. And that's he talks about that, and we dig into whether that's crazy thinking, if it's possible. You have Steph earning 60 now. He thinks Luka will probably get to 70. So it's crazy. We're going to talk about it.
Interesting. Yeah, I will save my thoughts on that. Save that for you and Cluster. We do have our $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings to give away. 1824 on the text line was correct with the over. Stricky, you said 1968. You got 3 of the 4 numbers right. It was that third number that got you. Not 1968, 1908.
I meant to say,
meant
to put the 6 as a 0. That I was saying 1908. I said 1908.
The number of people that gave you like a facepalm or a come on Stricky on the text line,
I don't freaking know. Listen, I knew it was a long time. You guys got to understand, I knew it was a long time because they had always talked about how they were an organization with all of its prestige, has never been able to win. But you've got to understand how much time passes, and we're now at almost 2025, how quick it goes, where you don't realize that 1908 was a long time ago. Like, you don't really, like, you think right now, for me, 1970 is a long time.
Yeah.
That's a half a century.
Yeah.
For me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I some reason I was like, I knew it was a long time. I didn't think 1908 long. All right.
I know this is a sports show, but we did just have our first president ever make it to 100 years old. Think about all the stuff that Jimmy Carter saw.
Yeah.
Is seeing.
Yeah,
Like-
whole century. Of
Like he
life.
saw basically all of the Cubs championship drought.
Well, there might be some narratives that change about him. There might be some narrative changes about him that when we look back at this about 10 years from now, you won't look at Jimmy the same way that you probably did up until now. If you know, you know. Let me just leave it at that. I ain't gonna dig into that one, but that's he might be all right. He got to see that. He might have got to look in the mirror and say, "Oh, it ain't me."
Let's dig into the text line before we get a little bit too far off the rails. Our text line and our streams brought to you by
Hilarious.
Starter Heyman Jewelers. Stricky, you mentioned the question of who's more delusional, Husker fans or Cowboys fans. Sanderson on the text line says, I'm a 45-year Cowboys fan. Where are you getting the delusional tag from? Cowboys fans know we aren't good enough or going anywhere this year, and most of us expect our coach to be fired. Not exactly sure what you're basing that on. So first of all, where are you getting the delusional tag from?
Well, you're built a little bit different, and that's okay. Being that I've lived in Dallas, and it's like a second home to me. I don't know where you live. I'm not going to speculate on that, but trust and believe, I've seen that every year, and I see their posts, and I see them on game days. And Kevin Smith is, shout out to him who just went into the Texas A&M Hall of Fame as well. Shout out Pup Daddy, my guy. Oh, we got to stop doing that. Paul, because we call him Pup Doggy. Pup Doggy.
That's far too close to.
Yeah, that part. That's why I had to pause.
Yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
We're not doing that one. So, Puppy Dog, shout out to you, man. And but I see them. I go to the Sunday game days, and I see the conversations, and you may be built a little bit different though, my guy. That's okay.
Crowbait says Cowboys fans are delusional because of the quote, "This is our year" from Cowboys fans every year.
Every year. And even when it looks like it, first round exit. Romo's going to take us there. Dak
Zeke is going to take us there. Micah Parsons is going to take
that part.
Hey, at least Dak's making $60 million.
And they had to do it.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't not do it.
You was stuck in a rut and you wasn't getting out. You was like, you ever seen those mud trucks where they go deep? They go into the mud.
Is that what the Mississippi Mud Dog drives? Is the Mississippi Mud?
You know
truck?
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they get down in there and they trying to and they got to get pulled out of there. That's what it looked like for me for the Cowboys at this point. And your boy loves it. Your boy, Stephen A. Jackson. Stephen Jackson, not Stephen A. Stephen Smith. Stephen Smith.
Say, what's Stephen Jackson got against the Cowboys?
Stephen Smith, boy, he loves it. He loves it. He loves it with a passion when they go down. It's funny to watch it when they take an L.
D-Man says, Sanderson is the first Cowboy fan I've ever heard that isn't delusional. They all think they're winning the Super Bowl every single year.
That's a
Take
fact.
it from me, I'm a Broncos fan.
That's
Sanderson, you are the exception that proves the rule,
You
my
are
friend.
an exception. You are definitely an exception. Because I've seen it. I've seen it. I'm sitting in there looking, and I'm talking about, losing to St. Louis, not St. Louis, but to New Orleans. I watched one of my guys. He didn't care. He had his flag. He was tossing that flag back and forth. It didn't matter to him. He still knew that they was going.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay.
Brad on the text line says, Nebraska fans think because they won 3 games, they're better than Illinois all of a sudden.
Ooh.
So he's saying Nebraska fans are more delusional.
Ooh.
And here, to be completely fair, I mean, you still list your address as Dallas, which is why I guess you haven't given me your address yet. So I get it. I mean, you can maybe speak on the Dallas part a little bit more. But my address is
He needs
right
to
here
take
in
his
the
cap
402.
off right now and just sit it down because there's a lot of cap. He knows where Streaky lives.
I don't know where Stricky lives. I know it's somewhere in Dallas, and I'll find it someday. But I'll get the invite someday when I'm big enough. When I made it, I will post. I will take a screenshot. I will print, and I will hang on my refrigerator. The text with Stricky's address.
It's
so
definitely.
my mom can see it. My mom walks in to babysit little Herbie, like, Mom, look, I made it.
Oh,
I'm going to Stricky's house next weekend.
Definitely not what Nick Sainert says, which is on a golf, or Rico is not on a golf course. Down the street from one. Down the street, but not on one. So, no.
Anyways, from the Nebraska versus Cowboys perspective, right? I think a lot of Nebraska fans had the delusion ripped out of them, right? Because to me, delusion is championship. That's what I think, right? I think Nebraska fans know they're not competing for a championship. That's really all the Cowboys have.
When did we get there? Because I think for a while, I even thought we were there before we took that shellacking from Wisconsin. I thought when we went into that game, I was there. They walked into that game as if they walked into that game like Colorado walked in here and got shellacked. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did it happen?
I don't know. I mean,
when did you think that shift happened? Like
late Riley? After Tennessee beat him and then into 2017, I think some of that went away. I think it re-sparked very quickly with Scott Frost. But I think another 4 years and change of losing got Husker fans out of championship or bust mentality, like it seems like Cowboys fans are, right? You don't hear Cowboys fans saying, hey, let's just advance past the divisional round. Hey, let's just make the conference championship game. You don't hear that from Cowboys fans.
Right.
And you know why, Strick? You don't hear that from the owner.
Right.
You don't hear that from Jerry Jones. You don't hear that from Steven, the GM. And you're the Dallas Cowboys. There's no reason your standards shouldn't be championship or bust.
Facts.
But you've also never had that rebuilding year to tear down to the studs and bounce back from, right? To maybe give fans a healthy reset of expectations. It's just all been gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal. And yes, Nebraska fans want a championship. I don't think Nebraska fans think a championship is their birthright like Cowboys fans seem to.
Is it gas pedal, though, Austin? Like, you ever seen somebody that doesn't know how to ride a motorcycle get on one, and then they...
Yeah, that's why I'm never doing it.
And then and then the motorcycle goes flying. That's when that's when I envision what we used to, like how we used to feel.
The closest I ever got to that, Strick, was the first time I ever went water skiing.
Oh, with a jet ski? Oh, no, in a water ski? Did you drink a lot of the lake water? Tell the truth.
So I was on the back of the boat, right? And I know getting ready to launch off, and I kick off, they drive away or whatever. And of course, the device that they, or the advice, sorry, that they give me is if you face plant, let go. I face planted and I held on for like 5 seconds. So I'm getting all that lake water. Boom, 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 boom. And then I let go.
No,
so I forgot the one piece of advice in the heat of the moment.
At least you got up, my guy.
I got up.
At least you got.
I was doggy paddling. I was maintaining.
I was like, what am I doing wrong? And I was leaning back and I was going. And I'm like,
lift up, my guy. Lift up.
I can't get up. Let me start up and just jump off the back. And then if I face plant, cool.
I face
but
plant.
at least I might be still standing. I'm still standing better than I ever did. Living like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time. Okay, we're out. You know it's a great song. Gotta love Billy Joel. Shout out to Billy Joel.
Hey, and guess what? That's not copyright. We get away with it.
Well, because we probably do because the algorithm ain't gonna pick that singing out. That was horrible. But I love it. I'll do it anyway. I sing in the shower like I'm an opera singer. That's how good I think I'm singing. Oh, that's what I meant. Elton John.
Stricky.
Elton John. You're right. Elton John. Good.
You did.
Thank you.
Good job, Ellen.
Thank you for saving me. Yeah.
We found our second non-delusional Cowboys fan, Stricky. Jeremy says, I'm both a Cowboys and a Huskers fan. I too believe the Cowboys aren't good enough across the organization to be a Super Bowl contender, let alone a winner. And that to me is another important piece across the organization.
Yeah.
Nebraska feels more, whether it's true or not, from the outside, it feels more stable than the Cowboys, who are just hanging on with Jerry Jones, right? He's still around, hasn't fully handed operations over. He's still meddling. He's still talking. And how much confidence is there, Steven, who got the job because he's Jerry's kid?
Right.
Nebraska at least feels like it could be a championship organization. The Cowboys don't feel like that.
Here's when I knew it's not serious anymore. Jamie Foxx, I saw a video. And so I don't know for sure if the video is real. I don't know if it was Photoshop. I don't know if the voice added into it. So I'm not going to speculate. But if this is true and this is alleged, I'm sitting there. Jamie Foxx happened to be there at practice. He was filming, being next to Jerry. They're talking about wingspan. You're talking about, different things about specific players as they're evaluating.
Mm-hmm.
And then he talked about Johnson size. That's when I knew they ain't serious. There ain't no way you should be talking about Johnsons right now.
Why do you care?
Like, yeah,
why do you care?
Like, I felt
that is
like
always
Scooby-Doo.
a metaphorical conversation. It is never an actual conversation.
I felt like Scooby-Doo when I heard, what? What did you just say? Here, let me rewind that. What? Like, how you know he has a certain amount of size?
Who cares?
Oh, man, that's wild, bro. They wilding. Anyway, what's next? Talk to me.
Can we just for a couple minutes here bask in the glory of Bobby Witt Jr.?
Oh. A moment of silence for Bobby Witt.
Moment of silence? A moment of celebration. No, it's a moment of silence for Gunnar Henderson.
Okay.
Moment of silence for Gunnar Henderson, who lost to Bobby Witt Jr. in the American League Home Run Derby. Well, not the American League, but in the matchup, lost to Bobby Witt Jr. Not good enough. Bobby Witt Jr., fourth youngest player ever, with RBI in a 1-0 postseason game. Bobby Witt Jr., the first player since Jimmy Fox with 2 or more go-ahead hits in a single postseason in terms of youngest players. Youngest guy since Cody Bellinger with 2 go-ahead hits in a postseason series. It was not pretty. Stricky. Bobby Witt Jr. is that man. I've been telling you. You ready to wake up yet?
You've been saying it. But
you ready?
Here's the thing.
You ready?
Here's the thing. I know you've been saying it, but I saw something and I have to throw it out to you guys because there's no way what I saw happen. I don't know when it happened. I don't know how it happened, but I saw it happen with my own eyes. A pitcher, I think he's in the minor leagues, has a no-hitter going. He's got a no-hitter going. 3-0, only need 3 outs. Talk to me. 3-0, 3 outs. That's all they need. No hitter. All right. Walks a guy.
Dang.
They bring in a lefty. Walks a guy, hits a guy. Hits another guy. 1 run.
3-1.
3-1. Strike somebody out. Get somebody out. Fly ball. Game over. He's still good because the runs don't count. No hits.
Mm-hmm.
Fly ball. The guy in center field tries to big league the ball, drops it, more runs come in, clears the bases.
On an error.
They go from 3-0 with 1 out, 3-1 with 1 out, no hits, to now 4-3 down. And then they still scored 3 more runs. You lose 7-3 in the last inning, and it was a no-hitter. What's really going on? Help Stricky with that one.
Baltimore Orioles would love to know, but it's too late for him. Too late.
Look, do you know how sick that one, you took the L. He's going to get the L.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, he gets the L. Yeah.
He gets the L
and the blown save.
Because the 4, no.
And the blown save.
No, the pitcher that came in to replace him gets the L, right? Because he was up 3-1 when they took him out the game.
Well, I guess the runs would be charged to the first pitcher, even if they're unearned.
Wow. So you took an L, lost the no-hitter, got the no-hitter, took the L. You know how sick he would be the next day having to run and throw long toss?
Very.
And ice?
Yeah.
And have that, think about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
No.
Hey, let's go to break. We got Big Ten Media Days coming up here.
Oh, really?
We got someone checking in.
Basketball.
We got someone checking in from Chicago, Stricky.
Oh, who's up there?
Jacob Bigelow, my guy.
Oh,
Going to be
yeah.
our guy. Might be getting him for a weekly guest. So Jacob
Good.
Bigelow joins us on the ground in Chicago. Talk some Big Ten Media Days after this.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Landmark Implement helps you put dirt in its place with increased accuracy and greater speed thanks to the John Deere Smart Grade. This fully integrated 3D grade control system boosts job site productivity and reduces labor costs with fewer passes and less wasted material, meaning more bids won and higher margins. No masts, no cables, just clear views of the job site. Visit your local Landmark Implement today and discover the profit-boosting power of the Smart Grade and experience the Landmark difference.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for $437 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1004120, $437 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 5,500 due with signing, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 9/30/2024. See dealer for details.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 15th is $2 off tray packaged ground beef, $2 off hot dogs, 15% off cookbooks, and buy one, get one 50% off on hardcore carnivore seasoning. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Tailored Life is your headquarters for all things fall in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
This is State Senator Carolyn Bozin. Public safety is important in our community. I have a proven record of protecting public safety. I have prosecuted perpetrators of domestic violence, advocated for the rights of child abuse victims, held sexual predators accountable, and fought to keep drug traffickers off our streets. This is Senator Carolyn Bozin, and I will continue to fight to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bozin on November 5th. Paid for by Bozin for Legislature.
Hi, this is Jay Foreman. Join me, Old School, live from Cornhusker Bank at 83rd and O Street this Friday for their Customer Appreciation Tailgate Party from 4 to 6 p.m. Larry the Cable Guy will join us during the show, and there's free food and refreshments. That is this Friday from 4 to 6 at Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and O Street.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back on the block. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you. Ellie is on the board. We are headed to our VIP line brought to you by Aloe Fiber. Aloe Fiber is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Bringing in a guy I'm excited to talk to, a guy I'm getting to know better, and a certified ball knower, the stretch big himself, Jacob Bigelow. Jacob, welcome into On the Block, my friend.
How's it going, guys? No, I appreciate that rousing introduction, Austin. But yeah, good to be here and good to talk a little ball with y'all.
In case our audience doesn't know, maybe remind people how you got your start and your connections to the Husker basketball program specifically.
Well, back in my college day, I say that like I'm an old man. I'm really not that old. I just feel old. I was a student manager for a couple years when Tim Miles was the head coach, and now I'm going into my third season of covering Husker basketball for Huskers Illustrated magazine. So they can't keep me away that long. I found my way back somehow.
That's wonderful. I would also point people to that Stretch Big podcast I mentioned, Chris. You had the man that you lovingly refer to as Coacher on not too long ago.
Yeah, I had a fun little run podcast episodes this summer. Talked with Coach Miles, Ali Faroukmanesh, who was on staff with him, Michael Lewis, who was on staff with Coach Miles. Now he's the head coach at Ball State. And there's still some fun guests on the way before we get hoop season going on the podcast. So check that out if you feel so inclined.
Jacob, you are on the ground in Chicago for Big Ten Media Days. Let's start with the hometown aspect here with the Huskers. What did you hear from Fred Hoiberg and or Bryce Williams and Juwan Gary today?
Bryce Williams and Juwan Gary, they were really, it's kind of an eerily similar feeling to last year. Down to the fact that they were picked 12th in the preseason poll again for the second straight season. I think they're embracing the fact that they're kind of an underdog, and don't want to say they're an afterthought, but they're definitely not picked toward the top of the league. It's definitely Bryce and Juwan. They're embracing that.
When you look at those two guys specifically, are they Nebraska's two most important players for how the 2024-25 season goes in your mind?
There's definitely a case to be made. I think Bryce Williams is going to be the go-to guy. I think he's going to be a candidate for all Big Ten honors at the end of the season. I think they're on paper, they're definitely the two most important players. I think there are other guys on the roster that could, dictate the ceiling for the team, depending on if they're making shots from three or things of that nature. But I think there's a reason we've heard so much from them, whether it be the end of last season, over the summer, and now in the fall leading into the year. They're clearly the two new vocal leaders, and I expect them to be the most front-facing guys on this roster this coming season.
Bryce Williams not named to a preseason All-Big Ten team. You and I were chuckling about how there were 8 players or 9 players, I think, on the 5-man team, the unofficial one put out by Cleveland.com, of course. But even Andy Katz put his out, and to his credit, Andy at least did 3 teams of 5, not just naming 15 players. Bryce Williams nowhere to be seen. Why do you think that is?
I think it's kind of a if you know thing. Big Ten Network analyst Rayfeld Davis, he came over and asked Fred about Bryce specifically. He said he thinks he's one of the more skilled players in the league, especially on the offensive end. And Fred Hoiberg talked about, one of their goals has been to make Bryce a more well-rounded player. He thinks they got a good start on that last season when he was running the point, defending point guards, and he really came into his own toward the end of the season, finished the year with back-to-back 20-point games. So I think Bryce Williams is kind of a if you know guy in Big Ten circles. I've talked to some people who were around other programs in the off season, and they have glowing things to say about Bryce Williams, but it's kind of just an if you know thing, and I think he's saving his best for his last collegiate season.
It's interesting that it is one of those if you know opportunities, because I think for my money, Bryce Williams was maybe the most consistent player for Nebraska last season. Rink Mast was probably the most important. What he did is that offensive fulcrum, and then Keisei Tominaga certainly generated the most headlines, especially in his second year, right, following up the year he had with Derek Walker. But for Nebraska to finish where they did in the conference, right, finish third, get a first-round bye, all that good stuff, Bryce Williams was an engine, if not the engine, for the team. So I think it's just ignorance if people are copping out with it's an if you know situation in Bryce Williams. They've had plenty of opportunities to get a look at this guy.
Yeah, I don't know if they're using it as a cop out, but I think we know when people who you ask them about Nebraska's team last year, they'll tell you about Keisei Tominaga, and he's not there anymore, and a bunch of roster turnover. There are probably some members of the media who I don't want to say they don't know who Bryce Williams is, but it's this is a nationwide conference spanning from sea to shining sea. They had 33 media members vote in the the media poll that Columbus Dispatch and the Indy started. But I think, some people are definitely going to need to know the name Bryce Williams. I think he's got a chance to be one of the leading scorers in the conference. And like I said, I think he'll be an all-league guy by the end of the year.
More roster turnover for the Huskers this year. As you look at that transfer class specifically, who are the one or two guys that you think will be the best and most impactful additions for the Huskers on the court?
I'm really interested in the impact Andrew Morgan has. I think he could bring some new aspects to Nebraska's offense. We haven't seen too much pick and roll these last couple of years. It's been a lot of handoffs, dribble handoffs, kickouts to shooters. I think Andrew Morgan could bring some pick and roll in. I think there could be, some interesting, things we haven't seen. I mean, Fred Hoiberg, he's obviously got a deep offensive bag. I'm interested in to see what they do with Andrew Morgan. Obviously, he is viewed as the heir apparent to the Derek Walker ring-masked, playmaking five-man. But also, I'm intrigued by the two Big Ten guys, Connor Essegian and Gavin Griffiths. They both transferred in from other Big Ten schools. They've played Big Ten basketball before. They know what it takes to win in the league. And I think playing for a coach like Fred Hoiberg, a more free-flowing offense, maybe he played shot doctor a little bit with those guys. But when I mentioned earlier, guys that I think could dictate the ceiling, if Essegian and Griffiths are hitting from beyond the arc, then that could add a couple wins to Nebraska's tally by the end of the season.
Fred Hoiberg did say that Connor Essegian was doing some K-Say stuff, and I think that is a very dangerous game for him to play with this fan base over the offseason.
I would tend to agree. This is we saw how loved K-Say was on his senior night and at the end of the season last year. So I think any K-Say comps are going to be eaten up pretty quick by anyone listening.
A difference between Connor Essegian and K-Say Tominaga will be the floor that they played on. Fan of the new floor, against the new floor, ambivalent on the new floor?
I'm ambivalent. It's very boring. I was a very big fan of the state outline. I'm also a Scripps Husker logo guy. I know some people call it chicken scratch. Some people aren't a big fan of it, but I
loved it.
I thought it was unique, and now we won't have people making jokes about guys hitting threes from the Panhandle or from certain cities in eastern Nebraska. So I'm going to kind of miss that, and I think the block end is very boring, but I do like the red sidelines. That's kind of the only thing I like about it.
We're talking with Jacob Bigelow of Huskers Illustrated, also the Stretch Big podcast here during On the Block. Jacob's in Chicago for Big Ten Media Days. Who else has caught your attention with what they said today, Big Ten Media Days, whether it's a coach or a player, Jacob?
I found myself very enthralled with Dusty May. I like listening to him talk. I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that people have joked with me that he is what I wanted to be. He was a student manager for Bob Knight, and now he's back in the Big Ten as a Big Ten head coach. But I was very intrigued listening to him talk. Heard from Tom Izzo and some of the other coaches that I'm rather fond of, and I actually enjoyed the coach panels that they did this morning. I thought there was actually some really insightful stuff, some good answers. Mick Cronin and Kevin Willard telling stories about working for Rick Pitino, and Mick and Cronin telling Kevin Willard, if Rick's watching, foul me hard. That way he won't try to play with us. Stories like that. I mean, that's pretty priceless. So there's been definitely some good tidbits throughout the day today.
Top two teams in the league last year, Purdue and Illinois. Which team are you more confident in remaining in the top four this coming season?
I think Purdue, and I know that may come as a shock to people because there is quite literally a giant hole compared to their team last year in the form of Zach Edey being gone. But I think knowing Matt Painter, there's going to be definitely some offensive adjustments. It's not going to be as post feed centric. Obviously, they're not going to have the National Player of the Year inside, but they still have. I joke that Matt Painter does still have the keys to the Giant Man factory. He's got 2 7-footers on the roster, and then he brings back the preseason Player of the Year in Braden Smith. He's the only returning first-team All-Conference guy, and they got guys who can be flamethrowers from beyond the arc. Smith, Lawyer. I think Purdue. I'm definitely more confident in Purdue to be toward the top of the league. Are you a Braden Smith believer? I am, yes. I know that this has been quite the debate online. I'm a believer. I don't think he was just padding stats because of Edey. I think he's real. I think he's genuinely a really good point guard and a really good player. I think he was deserving of the accolades he received. Do I think there's a chance he's not the postseason Big Ten Player of the Year? Obviously, this is an 18-team league. It's very deep. I think there are guys who can rise above, but I would label myself as a Braden Smith believer for sure.
Are you a Matt Painter believer? That might be the more important question, though.
I am actually, and that kind of plays into my answer. I would say no in regards to the other program you referred to. If you were asking me the same questions, I definitely have more faith in Painter and Braden Smith than I do with the program in Champaign.
What is your confidence level? Has it been shaken at all in Tom Izzo, right? It's not necessarily January, February Izzo anymore. It's still, to me at least, a solid program. Upper echelon talent isn't there like it has been in years past. I don't know if Izzo's lost his fastball, lost his breaking pitch, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not sold on Michigan State again this year. They're just about 500 over conference play in the last, 5 or 7 years. Michigan State strikes me as fine, but not overwhelming. I don't get that same kind of fear of God walking into the Breslin Center like we used to. Where are you at with Michigan State, but even more specifically Tom Izzo?
Yeah, it's a weird spot for Coach Izzo. It becomes, he's turning 70 within the next couple months, I believe. So that, I'm not an ageist, but we've seen guys, talk about, we've seen guys call it careers, very storied, legendary head coaches, Krzyzewski, Roy, Nick Saban in the college football game that have called it, and it becomes a question of the cliche of has the game passed them by. I don't think the game has completely passed Tom Izzo by. I think he's definitely trying to make one more run at it before he calls it a career. But it's a weird spot for Izzo. Last year's team had pretty high expectations, but definitely were not met. They bring a good amount back, but they brought a good amount back, going into last year too. And then, they add, Frankie Fiddler, local interest, Bellevue West product, Frankie Fiddler, and he's their first transfer portal addition in multiple years, which almost sounds like a foreign language compared to the rest of college basketball.
Speaking of those Nebraska tie transfers here, you mentioned Frankie Fiddler, William Kyle III out at UCLA, and then also St. Thomas at USC. Which of those guys do you think has the smoothest adjustment to Big Ten play?
Yeah, I won't forget about John Tanji. Wisconsin either. Got an heard from Greg Gard about him today as well. But I think my answer is going to be St. Thomas. I think he's got the highest ceiling, both as a collegiate player and as a pro prospect. Eric Musselman talked today. He said Saint's going to play anywhere 1 through 5 at USC. He's going to get back anything from backup point guard minutes to small ball 5 minutes for the Trojans this year. Of an almost completely new team. I think they bring one guy back in year one under Muss. But if I'm buying stock in the local guys, I'd take a healthy helping of St. Thomas stock, and that's no slight against Will Kyle or Frankie Fiddler. I think all of those three guys are going to be solid contributors, in their new homes this season.
I do have to ask you about Wisconsin. This is a program that has not made a friend in me. I've been very anti-Wisconsin as far back as like the early 2010s. My Duke basketball affinity is well noted on this program, and that 2014-15 Wisconsin team, even though Duke beat them, just always stick in my craw. I've been kind of preying on Wisconsin's downfall for years. I thought it was going to be last year. They squeak out an NCAA tournament appearance, get beat by James Madison in the 5-12 game. Is this the year Wisconsin finally crumbles?
It kind of feels like it to me. I think my biggest thing that I took away, Nebraska came in tied with Wisconsin in the unofficial media poll. I think if Nebraska finishes below Wisconsin, then Nebraska's got bigger problems. I'm not really buying into what's going on in Madison. John Blackwell, obviously, he played a big role for them last year. He was here today for media day, but I think just whether it's Wisconsin's brand of basketball, whether it's, the guys on the roster, I think there's a lot working against them. So I don't know if it'll be this year, but I think it's definitely on the horizon.
Because we should probably talk about the bottom of the conference here too. The teams that I'm seeing at the bottom, Minnesota, Washington, I'm seeing some Northwestern down in there as well. Of those three teams, is there any surprise potential, or are they just getting ready for the end of February, early March and calling it quits?
I don't know about calling it quits. I'm intrigued by Washington. Danny Sprinkle, he, coaches for a year at Utah State and then jumps to Washington. He brings Utah State's best player with him for a really significant, NIL deal, and he's shown the ability to win at just about every stop he's made. I'm really intrigued by Washington. I'm not saying they're going to set the world on fire and win the league, but compare that to Northwestern and Minnesota, I think out of those three teams, I think Washington probably has the highest ceiling in my book.
Last one I got for you then, Jacob. I've saved the best for last, at least in my opinion. I don't know if there's a bigger wild card in the Big Ten for my money than Rutgers. You have a defensive-minded head coach in Steve Peichel. What does he do? He goes out and gets two high-flying freshmen, right? Dylan Harper, younger brother of Ron Harper Jr., should know the program, have some familiarity, has a college frame at 6'5", 6'6", 220 already. He might be built for it. He might not. Well, we'll see. Ace Bailey, though, 6'10", do-it-all, can score, can defend, can handle a little bit. But they're freshmen, and it's hard to get on the court, for Steve Peichel as a freshman if you're not willing to defend. I see Rutgers' season going one of two ways. Either the freshmen start out hot and Rutgers is inside the top 15, top 20, and then they hit that freshman wall in late January, early February, and they're still okay, but you can tell the freshmen have not made the same adjustments to the conference. They're maybe physically a little bit worn down. Or the flip side is going to be true. They're not buried on the bench, but they're playing through some stuff early on. Rutgers maybe drops a game or two that it shouldn't, just due to freshmen trying to figure out the speed of the game in college basketball. And then it turns out that, Dylan Harper is familiar with the Rutgers system enough. Ace Bailey is talented enough that Rutgers is going to be a major pain in the butt to play in one of the toughest outs in the conference. Do you have a lean either way?
I think first and foremost, I think Harper and Bailey they're going to play. I think they're day one starters, and I think it's crazy to think about how in the last couple of years it's become really hard to win with freshmen. But these guys aren't just freshmen; they're projected lottery picks. So obviously you're gonna have a chance. But when you're still going in night in night out against 23, even 24-year-old guys in college basketball, I mean that's just tough. No matter how skilled you are. I definitely think they're a wild card. I did not have any preseason, votes. I have a tough time putting freshmen on the all-league team when they haven't even played a college game yet, just based on hype. And that's no slight to Harper or to Ace Bailey. I've seen plenty of the tape, but they're definitely a wild card. I don't think any team in the Big Ten is looking forward to going to play at the rack. That's for sure. That's one thing that reigns true with Big Ten basketball. But I definitely would agree with the assessment that they're probably the biggest wild card, boom or bust, team in the league in my book.
I would have felt so good about picking Rutgers for a first-round bye in the Big Ten tournament if they had held on to Cliff Amore. As just a basketball watcher, I'm bummed that Cliff Amore left Rutgers, as that team could have been special with him anchoring that front court.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely would agree with that. And yeah, I was just reminded last week that Cliff wound up at Bama. So him and Grant Nelson, that's going to be quite the team to watch. But yeah, that's kind of the world we live in now. The what if, what if this guy stayed? What if there's a lot of what ifs in this portal NIL world.
All right, Jacob, anyone else left to talk at Big Ten Media Days? Any podiums you got to get to here?
Nope. Those have just wrapped up. I'm just working on, the stuff I'll have up later at HuskersIllustrated.com. You can check that out on my Twitter account at Jacob A. Bigelow if you want. But Austin, I appreciate the time, man. It was good talking a little shop with you.
Absolutely. We will definitely do it again in the future as we get closer and closer to the season. Huskers Illustrated, check it out. Jacob's Twitter as well. Jacob, appreciate your time. We'll talk again soon, my man.
Oh, thanks again, man. Have a good rest of the show.
That's Jacob Bigelow with us on our Aloe Fiber VIP line. Aloes, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Appreciate Jacob. Hopefully that can be a weekly thing moving forward. Jacob has eyes on the whole league. He's pretty well connected, internal as well. So appreciate Jacob coming on.
Yeah, we're glad to have him. And I definitely look forward to love his insight. But he's been in there. He's been in the mix. He stayed in the mix. And now come on the blocks and mix it up with us on a regular basis. We'd love to have him.
Indeed. Stay tuned for more of that moving forward. One last break in this show. We'll wrap it up and get you and ourselves, of course, set up for a little sipping. Uncle Kevin Meyer, Thirsty Thursday. We'll be right back on the block.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
South Haymarket, and near city bus lines. With payment options through insurance and a sliding fee scale, services are available for any adult 19 and over seeking help. Call 402-477-3951 to learn more or schedule your appointment today. The Bridge Behavioral Health is a local substance use treatment facility offering hope and a solid foundation for recovery through substance use treatment and behavioral health interventions.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we are out of the gate for September with a very special GMC sales offer. We must move out all new GMC truck inventory fast. So right now at Koppel, we are offering true GM supplier pricing for everyone. Yes, you heard right. True GM supplier pricing on all GMC Sierras. That's over $12,000 off on select models. That's GM supplier pricing, $12,000 off on Sierras. Do not wait. Stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Landmark Implement helps you put dirt in its place with increased accuracy and greater speed thanks to the John Deere Smart Grade. This fully integrated 3D grade control system boosts job site productivity and reduces labor costs with fewer passes and less wasted material, meaning more bids won and higher margins. No masts, no cables, just clear views of the job site. Visit your local Landmark Implement today and discover the profit-boosting power of the Smart Grade and experience the Landmark difference.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's most dependable side-by-side, the Mule Pro, built to take on your most demanding days. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of October. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Stop by every Saturday for their Husker tailgate with free food, drinks, and games. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers?
Check.
Chips?
Check.
Icy cold beer?
Check. Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Fuhrer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico,
relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Fuhrer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back one final time during On the Block. What is going on over there? This is maybe why we don't have you in studio that often anymore.
Dude,
just kidding. Hi, Nick. Welcome into the crossover.
Hello, friends.
Good
to be with you.
He caught a Terrell Farley headphone.
Terrell must have been in the seats because they were blaring, and that's why you heard the screech on the microphone, is because the loud noise got too close to the mic. And Terrell Farley, man, I worry about his hearing. I worry about it.
Yeah.
It's him and Vershawn, though. Like I think it's just that show that comes with old age, I guess.
Well, not me.
Not you.
I don't like it.
Yeah, you're going on 35, so you're
I'm
good.
only
You're good
35.
for a while.
Yeah, you fresh
out.
Don't worry about it. Could use a little bit of beard trim, but you good. A little straight edge razor action.
You know what though? Why you all on me?
I said the same thing to Jay today as well. Jay got out of the car and I said, Jay, I see you got that fresh beard trim. You needed that. And he's like, you know what? And he's like, you know what, man? You talk way too much. You talk way too much.
All I know is it's good to have Tricky Nicky on this.
It's good to be joining you guys. I miss you guys.
Are you who you rolling with as you're beginning to look at the playoff situation right now in baseball? Like how are you weighing it? Is there something that surprised you right now? Like has there been a couple surprises to you?
I mean, here's the thing. I would love to have an extended conversation. Maybe I need to do this at some point.
We got time.
An extended conversation on the Orioles, because
this is the second time now.
Well, just from a big picture perspective, they built this championship caliber roster with such young guys. And I compare them to the 49ers because in professional sports, we talk so much about championship windows. And the Orioles, starting with the Cedric Mullins time, where they were able to get Cedric Mullins. He was producing. Mount Castle turned into a really, really good player for them over at first base. He had jumped around through some teams and through some organizations. They found a spot in the field at first base that works well for him. He's a big bat in their lineup. Santander was a great addition for them and has really, really burst onto the scene. But now this is the second.
Was interesting. Kierstead on the bench.
But then you also get the benefit of such young guys that are producing so quickly. The Adley Rutschman, the Gunnar Hendersons. Then not only like you go out in the offseason and you attract that Cy Young caliber arm in Corbin Burns.
We trade for him.
Or you acquire him. And essentially on top of all of that, you have one of the most exciting young players in number 1 overall pick, Jackson Holiday. And yet you still can't make it out of the wild card.
Like, you score one run in 18 innings.
We're talking about, and that's why the Royals, I think, are sneaky because they manufacture runs better than almost anybody, if not everybody else in the playoff field.
They do.
We're gonna take a
Ellie. Let's find that station identification. Just hit the little arrow next to it, not the whole spot black.
Let us know when you find it. Let us know when you find it.
Just let us know. Give me a thumbs up. Go for it, Ricky.
So real talk. Here's the other issue, and we'll get into it after the ID once she finds it. But
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on
That-
the FM
that
dial.
fit. I said,
Also
but.
online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
No talking over the
That
idea,
was
Strick.
smooth.
Come on now.
That was smooth, Stricky.
That's my bad.
We can do it here. You're listening to KNTK FM 93.7 The Ticket.
There it is.
There you go.
What do you think about the Astros who have a $125 million bullpen, but they lost to the Detroit
Tigers?
Whose whole dang team is barely 100-something million.
Before we get to that, Sean Newkirk does some Royals stats or whatever. Also a Ravens fan. He's also a Ravens fan, so he has that tie to Baltimore. Adley Rutschman took that 2-0 pitch, dead red, right down the middle, 2-0, bases loaded, 1 out. So Sean Newkirk looked this up. In the StatCast era, there have been 5,193 sinkers thrown down the middle on 2-0 counts. Hitters have a 379 batting average, 450 weighted on base average on those pitches. Rutschman just stared at it with the bases loaded.
But that's my thing. Is like that's
could not ask for a better pitch.
That's like mentality, and that's not a talent discrepancy. That's not a deficiency. That is a complete. And I love Adley Rutschman.
What is that? A cottonelle? Are you saying what type of mentality? Is it a cottonelle mentality? Soft mentality?
Even in a situation where bases are loaded and you're so far ahead in the count and all the momentum is on your side.
Right.
Because if I remember correctly yesterday, the half inning before that, the Orioles kind of got out of a jam themselves.
Yes, Royals loaded the bases.
Yes.
MJ Melendez strikes out with the bases loaded.
That's
Cedric
right.
Mullins solo homer. They reload the bases.
So you were feeling the shift of momentum, and even at that moment, you have to have that aggressive killer mentality. Like the Orioles could have looked at that as this is our opportunity to flip the entire series on its side. Because I remember sitting there watching in this moment yesterday thinking, if they get a clutch hit here, it's not just the game. It feels like the entire series momentum shifted when you're talking about just a 3-game set. And when the Royals got out of it, I thought to myself, the Orioles just missed their chance. The Orioles just missed their chance because in the postseason, all the pressure these last 2 days were on the Orioles. That all the pressure was. That was the one moment where maybe it started to slide to Kansas City, and you let them get away with nothing.
Well, first and foremost, they had an opportunity in game 1.
Well, yes, but you look at what hurt them. It wasn't for the Royals. This is as baseball and as pure as you can get it. And I plead this and I yell this from the rooftops, and probably 95% of listeners know what's coming out of my mouth here in just a moment. What hurt the Royals? It wasn't the solo shot. What could have hurt them was if Adley Rutschman had the correct mentality, the walk that they allowed to get on base immediately after the home run, or the walk that allowed them, I believe, to load the bases.
It was walk, single, nubber back to Lugo that he dropped.
That is correct. So
there's
walk
an
in air.
Yeah.
So it was a walk
single
in an error. Don't worry about that base hit that was hit. Worry about that walk in the air that could have scored and made it a 3-run differential instead of just a 1-run if they would have gotten a base hit. But because of Adley Rutschman and his lack of killer mentality, let's call it what it is, then they got away with nothing. And it wasn't the solo shot. You can weather the solo home runs. You can weather the hits. That's what makes Kansas City dangerous in the postseason, Austin. And Strick, obviously, is that Kansas City watches pitches and has plate discipline better than anybody else in the postseason in the bracket. They know how to run. They steal bases quite often, whether it's Blanco or whether it's Bobby. It doesn't matter.
Hey, Miguel Garcia is actually the best pure base
that's what I'm saying.
somehow,
It doesn't matter if it's a guy that only comes in as this year's Terrence Gore or if it's your all-star batting title champion. They run really well. They're smart on the base paths. They have pitching. The Orioles proved last night they don't have the discipline. They don't have the right mentality going on. And it's great that you can hit the ball out of the yard, but if you're not able to move guys over, or if you're not able to manufacture runs on your own and take advantage of every little missed opportunity or mess up that the opponent gives you, you're not going to win. You just won't. That's not the differential in the one-run ball games. The differential in the one-run ball games are who can make the opponent pitcher pay for the 2 walks he gave up in the 5th inning.
And if it was just this year for Baltimore, man, that sucks. But hey, we're excited about the young core we have moving forward.
Yeah.
Except that it's not just this year. Except that you have to go back. You went, 106 games last year?
Yeah.
And still get swept out of the playoffs?
Yeah. It's not because they're in a better division overall. Probably I should say this. Their division is more top heavy with the Yankees in it, but they can't use that as an excuse. Like they can't use that as an excuse. The Diamondbacks last year on the NL West with potentially the most talented roster in baseball with the Los Angeles Dodgers, Diamondbacks still made the World Series last year. Mm-hmm. Why? They won a lot of one-run ball games. They stole bases. They were able to swipe 90 feet when they wanted to. There was never a moment when the Diamondbacks were on the bases last year, and you see this a lot at every level. We can talk about it with Florida, too, when we went down to Stillwater, Austin. Mm-hmm. There was never a moment when somebody got on the base and it was like, all right, yeah, we don't have to worry about him. Like with the Royals, it's man, you hope you can keep him at first base, or man, you hope that they can keep you, because they're not going to hit the ball out of the yard at an outlandish rate, but they're just going to kind of do their jobs. They're going to bunt. They're going to move guys over. And before you know it, it's going to be a 3-1 ball game, and you're going to have the lone home run in there. But you look at the scoreboard and go, well, what's going on? Well, because when runners are in scoring position, you're 1 for 9. Like that, the ability to move guys over and drive them in is such a lost art.
The Royals are coming off of the worst September offensively in Royals history since 1981. An OPS, on base plus slugging of 544. That player gets DFA'd in a heartbeat. And that's the Royals' entire team.
Yeah.
And yet they went 11-14, I think it was, in the month of September, just enough to hold on to a playoff berth because of the pitching. Because it's not the same bullpen at the start of the year. It's a strength now. Because Cole Reagans could have gone 8 if not for cramps. Lugo was not his best, right? But I don't think Quatrero did him any favors by leaving him in as long as he did. And that's to your point, Nick. The Orioles got a break, even with managerial decisions, and didn't take advantage with it. You have platoon, you have lefties coming up. The Royals make that mistake. You don't take advantage. Well, you deserve everything you get or don't get.
And I know we want to get to the Astros, but with Quatrero, we talked about this the other day, Austin, and Strick, I want to get your thoughts. Like we've seen now over this last decade, some of the teams that make it farther in the postseason, at least with baseball, and this is obviously a thing when you're talking football and basketball and coaching decisions, but it's how good is the manager at making calls? Like, are you the Terry Collins leaving Matt Harvey in? Are you the Kevin Cash leaving Blake Snell in? Or
taking him out.
Taking him out too early in the 4th inning or whatever it was. Or are you a guy that is able to feel it out, right? Like, I was surprised that there was a reliever left in for 2 innings last night. I don't know. It was in the different game. Either way, it's like,
was it a Maton?
Yes. Yeah, it's like, are you able to juggle? And sometimes it works out great, and sometimes it doesn't. But are you able to juggle? And how much do you want to play analytics? How much do you want to play feel of the game? How much do you want to play lefty-lefty matchups? Like, all of that plays a gigantic factor in it. And the Royals do it really well to this point in Quatrero's second season as manager. But then on top of that, it's
Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings.
Stop here in just a moment. There we go. Mulberry Barbecue, friends of the station. But what I was going to say is are you able to feel it out, the ebbs and the flows of the game, or are you one of those that you're going to let the moment get too big and flinch? Like that's the thing. That's why the Dodgers haven't won. Is Dave Roberts doesn't know how to deal with late game decisions. Yep. He doesn't know how to deal with late game decisions. And some dudes can just stick out there and gut it out. Others, not so much.
I don't know. We may not be able to get to them today, unfortunately, but that's
sorry,
okay.
Guys. Sorry.
No.
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason. It was good.
Yeah.
And then he was talking about his squad mostly, so we're good.
I'm pumped. I'm trying to get a final.
I just think it's weird that you have a
shows
team
money doesn't always win.
There it is.
Money doesn't always win.
I'm
excited. Game 4 though.
Oh boy. 6:00 tonight. I got buddies going to that one up in Milwaukee. Should be a fun one. We'll get out of here, but guess what? We're not actually getting out of here. We're just switching streams from On the Block over to Old School. We got Kevin Meyer, Myers Cork and Bottle coming in. Huge thanks to Nebco for sponsoring the show. check them out at nebcoinc.com. They're hiring for a couple different companies in their family. Thanks for tuning in with us. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back with Thirsty Thursday right after this.
Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try dinner